Hi, what are you consuming? Rethinking your information diet. Recently, one of my daughters shared something that made me pause. Her media feed was flooded with outrage about one of our businesses. People are really angry with this brand, she said. Intrigued, I compared our feeds. Hers amplified more negativity, shaped by some of the progressive voices she followed. Mine, on the other hand, offered a broader mix of perspectives. I suggested she diversify her media sources to see a fuller picture. When she did, the shift was remarkable. Less anger, more understanding. It was a powerful reminder that the information we consume doesn't just shape what we think, it shapes how we feel. This moment revealed a larger truth. Just as we're influenced by the people we surround ourselves with and the food we eat, we're equally shaped by the media we choose to let in. Yet, while we talk about healthy relationships or balanced diets, we rarely consider the importance of really balanced information diets. So, think about your media consumption like a diet. Just as your body needs a variety of nutrients to thrive, your mind needs a range of perspectives to stay balanced and sharp. Without diversity, your worldview risks becoming narrow and malnourished, stunting your understanding. Would you want to go back 200 years? For most of us, the answer is a resounding no. By nearly every measure, life expectancy, literacy, poverty reduction, humanity has made extraordinary progress. Yuval Noah Harari, in Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow, highlights how advances in science, technology, and governance have drastically reduced famine, disease, and war. Never before has there been a better time to wake up as a human being. Yet, strangely, it doesn't always feel that way. Why? Much of what we consume is shaped by a media which thrives on sensationalism. Crises are amplified while quiet victories go unnoticed. This relentless negativity distorts our view, leaving us anxious, pessimistic, and disconnected. When was the last time you saw a front page story about how we're living in one of the least violent periods in human history? Or that organizations are directing unprecedented resources towards solving global challenges like climate change and disease? These extraordinary accomplishments unfold gradually and as a result often go unnoticed. Imagine raising a child by focusing solely on their mistakes. You point out every time they stumble, but you never celebrate their first steps or their hard-earned victories. What kind of human would they grow into? This is precisely how the media treats society, shining a relentless spotlight on failures while leaving progress and positivity in the shadows. Matt Ridley's The Rational Optimist highlights how our innate negativity bias, a tendency to focus more on threats than on possibilities, is amplified by media practices that prioritize negative stories. This bias, combined with exaggerated headlines and claims, creates unnecessary fear and distorts our perception of reality. The issue isn't that challenges are reported, it's the imbalance of them. By amplifying the dramatic and overlooking achievements, the media fosters a perception of a world in constant crisis, robbing us the ability to see what's truly happening around us. Binary thinking and its impact. Humans are naturally drawn to binary thinking, the tendency to see the world in black and white terms. It's either good or bad, broken or fixed, progress or decline. Jonathan Haidt's work on tribalism sheds light on how binary thinking plays out in today's media ecosystem. Social media algorithms designed to maximize engagement amplify polarizing content, turning small disagreements into large-scale cultural rifts. These dynamics deepen divisions and erode our ability to engage constructively with opposing ideas. When we limit ourselves to a single perspective, it's like the fable of the man searching for his keys under a street lamp. Someone asks him, "Is this where you lost them?" And he replies, "No, but it's the only place with light. We gravitate towards what's familiar and easily accessible, even when it doesn't provide the full picture. The result? Nuance is lost, leaving us grasping at fragments of truth instead of a broader understanding. And truth isn't found in one narrow beam of light. It's a tapestry woven from multiple perspectives. Breaking free of binary thinking reveals the world as it truly is, layered, complex, and full of possibility. Flexibility and openness to new ideas don't weaken us. They strengthen us, offering the resilience we need to grow. Creating a balanced information diet. Approach your information intake the way you would a healthy diet. Variety is essential. While it's tempting to consume only what feels good or familiar, you can't thrive on desserts alone. Your mind, like your body, needs a mix of perspectives to stay strong. A healthy information diet pushes you out of your comfort zone, challenging your assumptions and sharpening your thinking. If you find yourself agreeing with everything you consume, it's time to branch out. This intentional approach not only broadens your perspective, but also cultivates empathy and the discernment we need to navigate a polarized world. How to curate your information diet. First, diversify your sources. Seek out a mix of viewpoints, left, right, and center. For me, this means reading the New York Times alongside the Wall Street Journal. I don't always agree with what I read, but that's the point. Engaging with contrasting perspectives sharpen your thinking and reducing blind spots. Platforms like the Munk debates showcase well-reasoned arguments on both sides of an issue. Exposing yourself to competing ideas reveals complexity and deepens your understanding. 2, be intentional with mass media. Cable news channels like CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC often lack nuance. That said, mass media shapes collective conversations, so engage deliberately. When I watch the news during major events, I balance networks like MSNBC with Fox News to capture the surround sound of bias. 3, explore newsletters and podcasts. Newsletters and podcasts provide depth and insight often missing in traditional media. They become essential to my information diet, offering thoughtful perspectives on politics, culture, and innovation. Some challenge my biases, others inspire creativity, and a few offer literary or philosophical escapism. This variety helps me stay grounded, informed, and inspired. At the end of this article, I've included a list of the newsletters and podcasts I regularly follow, resources that continue to challenge and enrich my perspective. 4, train your algorithm and navigate social media. Take control of what your digital platforms show you. Social media often amplifies negativity, but with intention, you can make it work for you. Like avoiding echo chambers. Follow a diverse range of voices, including those that challenge your views, to broaden your perspective. If your feed feels overly uniform, it's time to adjust. Switch perspectives. Exchange devices with a friend whose media habits you respect. Sometimes seeing the world through someone else's lens can help you break out of your algorithm bubble. Prioritize thoughtful platforms. Platforms like LinkedIn tend to promote deeper professional content, while others like Instagram or TikTok often lean more superficial. Choose platforms that align with your goal for meaningful engagement. Limit engagement in comment sections. Avoid toxic debates or inflammatory comment sections. Focus on observing, learning, and contributing positively without getting pulled into unproductive back and forth arguments. Mind your time. Hours of mindless scrolling drain your focus and energy. Set boundaries to ensure social media serves you, not the other way around. This intentional approach can have surprising results. For instance, one mother preconditioned her daughter's TikTok feed by engaging only with educational content like archaeology and history. When the daughter finally used the app, she declared, "TikTok is boring." This clever strategy highlights a powerful truth. We have the ability to shape what we consume and ultimately how it shapes us. 5, choose meaningful content. Seek out content that genuinely interests you, but ensure it's well-reasoned and rooted in fact. Thoughtful engagement expands your understanding and supports emotional well-being by offering a more grounded view of the world. By curating your media consumption with care, you reclaim your mental space, you foster healthier habits, and ensure that media serves you, not the other way around. The media has a responsibility to present a fuller picture of the truth, including progress and positivity where it exists. Barry Neil Kaufman, the co-founder of the Option Institute, captures how a one-sided focus on negativity can distort a perception of the world. This is a quote that inspired me and has inspired me for over 30 years. I quote him when he says, "We could decide flat out to stop watching and listening to the news and to stop reading it too. We have made an addiction out of being informed, as if knowledge of disasters could somehow contribute to our sense of well-being and serenity. Our lives will never be enriched by the gloomy pronouncements of unhappy people, fearing and judging all they could see. They follow fire engines racing towards billowing black clouds of smoke and ignore the smiling youngsters helping an elderly woman carry her grocery bags. One dramatic traffic accident on a major highway sends reporters scurrying while the stories of 400,000 other vehicles that made it home safely go unnoticed. Newscasters replay over and over again a fatal plane crash captured on evidence, but rarely depict the tenderness of a mother nurturing her newborn infant. Simple acts of love, safe arrivals, peaceful exchanges between neighboring countries and people, helping each other are noteworthy events. The media bias towards sensationalism and violence presents a selective, distorted, and in the final analysis, inaccurate portrait of the state of affairs on this planet. No balance here. We feed our minds such bleak imagery, then feel lost, depressed, and impotent without ever acknowledging fully the devastating impact these presentations have on our worldview and our state of mind." End of quote. This truth, that focusing on what's good is healthy for us, is echoed in one of my favorite scenes from Love Actually, where Hugh Grant's character finds comfort in watching loved ones embrace at Heathrow Airport. "Love is all around," he says, a reality we often overlook when we focus solely on the headlines. But step outside, visit your neighborhood, or pause to notice the everyday, and you'll see it too. Love, kindness, and resilience everywhere. Imagine the transformative power of shifting our lens, not to deny difficulties, but to recognize the progress and compassion rising in response to them. These moments deserve our attention just as much as crises do. Curate your media diet as you would your meals. Choose what enriches your perspective and nourish your optimism, because the lens you choose shape the life you lead. Here are some recommended newsletters and podcasts to begin maybe curating a healthier feed for yourself. I'd start with podcasts. I'm a big fan of podcasts, and I have a long list that I tune into. Here are some of the ones I listen to. The All In podcast, a bit unconventional, with 4 hosts who have very different viewpoints: David Sachs, David Friedberg, and others, the besties. While I don't agree with all of them, the discussions can be really engaging. They have an unusual mix of friendly banter and heated debate, which can make for compelling listening. Conversations with Tyler, one of my favorites. Tyler Cowen's rapid fire style is awesome. He covers such a broad range of topics, everything from music to innovation, business, and economics. It's fast-paced and always engaging. The Dr. Mark Hyman Show, Mark's health-focused podcast, is another favorite. I appreciate his thoughtful approach to wellness and nutrition from every angle. Econ Talk with Russ Roberts. He does an excellent job with this podcast, diving into a variety of topics with clarity and depth. The Ezra Klein Show. Ezra Klein offers a thoughtful explanation of his perspectives, providing valuable insights, even if his political views might differ from your own. Honestly, with Barry Weiss, Barry tackles important topics with depth and clarity and offers layered, respectful conversations. I really appreciate how she manages those sometimes very difficult conversations. Making Sense with Sam Harris. Sam has a way of challenging guests deeply, but in a well-rounded manner. On Being with Krista Tippett remains one of my favorite. Krista explores humanity in deeper conversations and she provides inspiring insights. And on the newsletters front, The Art and Science of Happiness with Arthur Brooks, I find frequently in The Atlantic, really a must-read for anyone navigating complexity of modern existence. David Brooks is a longtime favorite. His engaging perspectives on morality, character, and community dynamics offers constructive societal critiques with a hopeful lens. The Free Press, of course, by Bari Weiss and all her collaborators, a very good source of wide perspectives from all angles, which is really, really helpful. The Future Does Not Fit in the Containers of the Past by Rashad Tobakovala. I love his newsletter. It's thought-provoking commentary on innovation, culture, and shifting paradigms. It challenges readers to think beyond conventional frameworks. And of course, The Marginal Revolution by Tyler Cowen and Alex Tabarrok, a prolific daily read covering everything from opera and chess to politics and economics. Their centrist tone and broad range of topics makes it an essential resource for newest thinking. The Marginalian, formerly Brain Pickings by Maria Popova, a refreshing and inspiring exploration of literature and philosophy, inspiring deep thinking and offering solace in today's polarized landscape. No Mercy and No Malice by Scott Galloway, a must-read for his incisive takes on business, technology, and society, accompanied by data-driven insights and always with a little bit of sting to them. And The Weekly Dish by Andrew Sullivan, sharp, surprising, and insightful writing from a conservative, gay intellectual who critiques both political extremes with thoughtful nuance. Your turn. What's one small change you would make to balance your media consumption? Are there sources you trust that may shape your world way more than you realize? If you had to describe your media habit as a diet, is it balance or is it time to diversify? I hope this was helpful. I hope to see you around. Please engage. Thank you.